Hello everyone and welcome to the next round of the KCG racing series here at tracc.eu. This is a beautiful revival of a classic traditional RaceRoom racing series. Today we are at Nürburgring GP layout, as you can already see, and as you have been able to see in the past, well, like 10 minutes where the countdown timer was running. Anyways, I am not alone here today. My name is Julian Strasser, and with me in the commentary booth today is Charles Bertoni. Hello, how you doing? Exactly, and we're starting in the qualifying session right now. But before we go any further, let us take a quick look at the track lap that we have prepared for you to showcase the circuit.
Hello everyone, my name is Julian and I will take you around the lap at the Nürburgring. We're here on the GP layout and are coming into turn 1. We're going to brake a bit before the curb on the left, using all the space that's available, cutting a lot on the inside curve of T1. Now starting to lift off on that exit road, taking a rather late apex for a better exit, into the hairpin, down to second. Taking again a late apex to get a good exit out of this one here. Missed the apex by a bit, that's fine. Now into this chicane here. It's crucial to stay rather to the middle or left to get a better exit onto this small straight all the way to the white lines. That was nice. Now into the Lamlop care. Braking a bit after the start of the white to grey. Bit of tarmac, second gear, using a bit of exit curb. Now into the Schumachers at high speed chicane, lifting about 50%, using all of the curb there. Now into this chicane, or kind of chicane, third gear, using a bit of inside curb, using a bit of outside curb. Now into the Bilstein corner. Again, third gear, late apex, using the exit curb too. We got a bit of the front left into the gravel there, that wasn't great but still good. Now into the slow chicane, braking right around the 100. Into first gear, missed apex a bit, missed that one too a bit. All around to the white line, not touching curb though. Braking at that middle, or at that white line, not running into the pit wall. And that's a lap around the Nürburgring. Thank you for watching and see you on the racetrack.
And here we are now back in the qualifying session thanks that lap by our own Julian Metzner. We have some times on the board already, and because I realize now, unfortunately, I forgot to unmute you, Charlton, so how about you introduce yourself once again, please?
Hello, I've come out of the basement finally. Julian did not let me out, but here I am, here with some KCG action. Something I'm looking forward to. I've not casted before, and it looks absolutely fabulous. So, let's crack on with it and see what quality times we're going to have coming up.
Exactly. So today we are going to be racing at, we said before, at the Nürburgring, the GP layout, with the slow chicane, as we're just seeing Lucas Fischer go through it in his Ferrari. Lucas Fischer, of course, currently the championship leader in the GT3 class, if I recall correctly.
Oh.
So that is a strong showing. However, beaten by Jiří Kratochvil, who is now in the lead, just 2 tenths up on Lucas Fischer's time. 156.724. That's quite a good lap. I mean, even considering it's a slow chicane.
Yeah, very much. I mean, the one thing I've noticed sort of watching the Ferraris go around at the moment is that they do like to get a bit more on the curbs to try and extract the most lap time. Oh, look, as you see it there, I think it's people are starting to get a bit more into the pace of things and find a bit of temperature in the tyres to get the car around. But it's going to be I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, this might be a very close one, especially looking at the front right now. Lucas Fischer and Jiří Kratochvíl only 200s apart from each other. And of course, we've seen the last few times Cody Nikolai Latkovsky will not stay far behind that. Sebastiano Rossi here for the TCR is currently coming towards an end for their qualifying lap. Will want to qualify higher up than they currently are as the current championship leader. However, because he did so well in the last 2 rounds, he currently has a success ballast of 19 kilograms on the car, which will surely hinder him.
Oh, God. You say that and he's put himself into P3. Oh,
As we exactly switch to his championship rival, Joe Senna here, who has a bit of a lower ballast this time, because last time around at Suzuka was not his best day. So currently only, quote-unquote, on 7 kilograms of success ballast, but currently leading the TCR standings.
That's very interesting. I mean, me being from the Britland that I am, I have a very big love of touring cars. Watching the BTCC when I was younger.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I'm really looking forward to some more door-to-door action. And the times are so close. I mean, Senna there, quite a bit of an improvement, but it's still reachable for Hülkenberg and Rossi at the same time.
Definitely, these top 3 in the TCR class are going to challenge one another. And, well, they're not the only ones that's going to be fighting. If we cast our mind back to the last rounds, there has always been a fight in the midfield of the TCRs as well. Also, mostly in the midfield of the GT3s. We currently have Andreas Ebert trying to improve, trying to catch up with the rest of the grid a bit more. Let's see how they will do. There is an improvement, not as close as he could be to the rest of the grid. However, I'm sure he has one more lap to improve his time. As we see Colin Barker right now improving into P4, just behind Sebastiano Rossi. Not even a 10th between them.
Yeah, there's definitely more time in that Audi by the looks of things. I think it's just gathering the confidence to push just that bit more. Same for the Audi here that's coming around. I reckon there's definitely more time to be found in it, and I absolutely love the livery as well. That DTM Classic. Oh
yeah, it's beautiful, and he will get around for another try at a lap where his last one was valid and put him into P5 now. And now we see Thorsten Leber, who is trying to catch up to the top 3 right now. The ever-famous trio of this season, Lucas Fischer, Jiří Kratochvíl, and Cody Nikolai Latkovsky. You weren't around last time, Charles. However, it was a beautiful battle between the 3 around Suzuka, and I'm sure they will want to continue this today.
Oh, absolutely. I can already feel the tension sort of bubbling, even looking at the timesheet at the moment with how close it is. So I'm sure in the race it will be no holes barred whatsoever. And the beauty of multi-class is that there is so much chaos that can happen during a race. Oh, so much.
Exactly.
I've seen it in GT3s. Oh, I've seen it in GT3s and GT4s. Oh, new time.
What a lap by Thorsten Leber, putting him in provisional P3 right now, starting right next to Cody Nikolai Latkovsky, as it seems, who is not going to improve because is currently not out on a lap. Sven Mackenberg, however, is going to try and improve. Has a personal best in the first sector. Let's see, personal best in the second sector. Now only the last sector to go, which is basically just this chicane and the last hairpin.
Oh, how much can the VW put out? It's looking pretty decent. Oh, keeps it close. Oh, a little bit of a slip there with the traction, though.
Let's see on the start-finish straight. Coming across, improving with Oh, there's a 10th now within the leader of Joe Senna. That's going to be a close battle, as we see František Štofko trying to improve once again. And look at those sector times previously. That was well done, looking to catch up to the top 4 of the GT3 grid right now. Let's see what...
How close is it going to be, though? Ooh.
That is a beautiful improvement. As Lucas Fischer also goes around and improves on his lap. Wow, putting the hammer down, as does Jiří Kratochvil. Both of them improving quite much and putting some distance between them. And Thorsten Leber and Cody Nikola Latkovsky.
Oh. Wow, that was some... that was a bit intense, wasn't it? Oh.
Absolutely.
Jeez, I mean, I think you can just see where people have got their banker laps in, and then all of a sudden it's like, right, I've now got this one opportunity to just... give it a full send and see what I can come out with. And for some of the drivers, it seemed to pay off quite dividends, didn't it?
Exactly. And the lap times now, so the starting grid for the race will be in GT3, the pole lap, well, the pole setter is Lucas Fischer, followed by Jiří Kratochvil and Thorsten Leber. Then we have Cody Nikola Latkovsky, František Štofko, and Andreas Ebert. In the TCR class, we have the pole set by Joe Senna, followed by Sven Mackenberg and Sebastiano Rossi. Then we have Colin Barker, Saulius Laurinavicius, and Wilfredo Sevilla. Oh boy, this is a bit of a stacked grid. Now we have a 3-minute warm-up session right now where people can get a bit more use, maybe work on the setups a little bit more before finally the race will be starting.
And just for my little tiny head, how long is this race going to be, Julian?
The race is going to be a 60-minute, 1-hour race.
Ooh,
without any mandatory pit stop or something like that. So... And if I see this correctly now, we have someone that just joined the server. Yes, it seems like Rüdiger Lampe is now in the server as well. So not having qualified, but due to the nature of RaceRoom, will start at the end of the GT3 grid. Now this will make it interesting for the TCRs, because this means that we have an uneven number of GT3s now, which means the P1 in TCRs, Joe Senna, will start alone in his row as a TCR, and Sven Mackenberg and Sebastiano Rossi will start behind him.
Yeah, nice little stagger grid there is definitely going to throw things into the mix, isn't it? And the speed difference between the GT3s and the TCRs coming off of the line is going to be very good to see, and it will mix the grid up properly. I think you get it sometimes with the first turn, especially at this track, where you get like two extremes. You either get people who play it really calculated and safe, brake early, find your nice apex, slot into a nice gap, and then ones who are like, nah, this race is won in turn one, everyone. I'm ready for this. So we're gonna have to see which result we get for the first turn today.
Well, I'm hoping not the races 1 and T1. I'm hoping we will not see that as commentator as well as head steward for this.
Oh, okay, now I can see the vested interest. Yeah, fair enough. Oh.
But
I say that we've got a...
I'm looking forward for some close racing, however, because we've seen it in the past races that a few of these are very close on pace when it comes to the race pace. So they are going to be battling whatever they can. And since we have touring cars as a class here, literally, we just watched one, the Peugeot. The touring cars racing, basically, bang a bit of doors and everything's fine.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I mean, that is what I grew up on. It really was like seeing touring cars just go door to door, shunting and all kinds of absolute cinema, honestly. The aggression that you see in touring car racing is very hard to match, I think, across other disciplines. Formula One, you have one little smidgen of a touch and your entire wheel frame is hanging off. So there's some, I'm definitely a bit more akin to. definitely looking forward to the TCRs go around. Have you got any predictions on who you think for the old top 3?
Oh, well, that is going to be a challenging question. I mean, really, there's only one. He has really shown his skill in the past rounds. I'm, of course, talking about Cody Nikola Latkovsky, who has won 2 rounds before and only did not win the second round, probably because he DNF'd. So, in terms of the GT3s, my money will have to go with Cody Nikola Latkovsky. In terms of the TCRs, however, it will be very interesting today, because there are quite a few possibilities for how this will end today. I am going to guess, however, that Sebastiano Rossi will make it.
Oh, interesting. Interesting stuff.
As we're lining up now, and standing start for everyone. We are green, 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 and we are going. Or immediately a few GT3s fanning out, making it 3 wide. I see the BMW overtaking even 2 positions. As we're going to the front here, Lucas Fischer losing a position to Jiří Kratochvil. And 3 wide right behind that. Well, everyone seems to be safe so far, even back in the TCRs. Everything is safe. Just a bit of tire smoke because they don't have...
Rossi?
They don't have any ABS. They will lock up the brakes a bit, as we're on board now with Thorsten Leber, who's been followed by Cody Nikola Latkovsky. The 2 Porsche drivers making it already a battle.
Wow, that was definitely getting quite argy-bargy, as we like to say, with the TCRs there. I could see Rossi there trying to look for a move on the outside there, trying to find the grip and the run there. GT3's got a little bit more of an organised fashion there. Fanned out, but just started to play nice with each other. As you can just see, I believe that's Labour and Nicola... I can't even pronounce that, I'm sorry. But, yeah, definitely some interesting positions. Oh!
That was a move by Saulius Laurinavičius, and he goes off.
Oh no, that was devastating there. I was looking all too good there. I thought they had the move done, but I think maybe there was a potential bit of brake lockage there, and that's really going to be a bit of work. Oh no, it's just kicking off even more.
Then for the GT3s is Rüdiger Lampe, who did not qualify, looking to manifest himself further up ahead. As they come together on the exit of the corner, and it seems that František Štofko got turned around after that coming together. Two racing lines colliding there. And this is going to be pretty bad for Joe Senna, who was trying to make some headway on the rest of the TCR grid, but now has even lost pretty much all of that time, and Sebastiano Rossi is right back on him.
Wow, Rossi's sort of coming out of nowhere at the moment here, just sort of laying down the pace in the Italian stallion of that Alfa Romeo. Amazing the gears haven't broken him already, as typical Alfas, but definitely looking to make up some run on the Peugeot, and I'm sure there's going to be no love lost between the 2 car-faring nations whatsoever. Senna there just keeping towards the inside. Oh my, loads of smoke coming out of some of these brakes as well.
Yeah, that is usually the Alpha brakes by Sebastiano Rossi, who likes to lock up the car a bit. However, seeing that he has won also 2 races, I believe, so far this championship, seems to be a good strategy, as we see Joe Senna on acceleration there, building up a bit of tire smoke as well.
Yeah, I think Senna went a little bit wide there as well. Seemed as if there was a little bit of a position there. It's Nikola Latkovsky. I need to remember that, because I saw the K in front and I was like, oh, hang on. It's a double-barreled name.
Exactly, as Cody Nikola Latkovsky is very close to Thorsten Leber right now, but not close enough to make a move at the moment. Maybe Sebastiano Rossi will be going for a move on Joe Senna. Not close enough as well.
Always got the run out of the corner, though. That's the thing. I don't know that's the fascinating thing with the TCRs as well. I don't know a lot about them, and I think judging by the Alfa Romeo here, it doesn't seem to be getting the run out the corners it otherwise would, quite like the Peugeot seems to be able to sort of get the foot down a little bit more on these straights, but Rossi seems to be sort of dogfighting, angling and asking questions in the mirrors at the moment.
Rüdiger Lampe has caught up to Andreas Ebert. They're side by side going into the slow chicane, and Rüdiger Lampe makes the overtake stick. Very easily done, very simply executed there. It's very safe.
Geez, that was a shake of the hands there from the BM and the Mercedes AMG, and both the Porsches seem rather inseparable.
Well, it looks like Latkovsky has taken the position now. Thorsten Leber is behind, but is going for the attack immediately into T1. Very deep. Latkovsky will try for the switchback, but the inside is with Thorsten Leber. He has to slot him behind, though.
Wow, I mean, it was a decent attempt, wasn't it? But it was, I think, audacious is the keyword I'd look for, and I think Labour at the moment is just trying to size up in the mirrors where his competitor's weak. Oh, and there's even more action.
Oh. It's always the Germans fighting. Now it's the VW versus the Audi. Previously it was the Porsches. Let's see if Colin Barker can do something against Sven Mackenberg to get onto the podium. I think for the first time this season.
Well, I won't be biased with a Brit on the grid. I will say it seems that Barker at the moment is trying to ask quite a few questions of Mackenberg as it stands, but just can't seem to find that sort of maneuver past. The gap is about nearly half a second, but I think they're just having a bit of an issue. Again, just for trying to find a run out of the corners. You don't have as much speed as those GT3s, and I think you just need to sort of get the apex just right, a bit better than your competitor.
Not to influence your bias at all, however, Colin Barker, if you have not noticed yet, is running a Gordon Shedden livery.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm really struggling right now. I couldn't be honest. but I think at the moment, I think Barker's got a good push on at the moment, sitting right behind the VW, and Audi seems to have the legs on it. So if Barker can just find a momentary lapse of judgment there from Mackenberg, I could see a position change. But they seem to be dropping off the back of first and second. Am I right?
Yeah, it seems like that. Sebastiano Rossi and Joe Senna are, well, they're closing up together, and it seems like they are just genuinely quicker than Sven Mackenberg and Colin Barker behind.
Rossi.
Oh!
Rossi! Oh my God!
Oh boy, that was some two-wheel action there by Rossi. He's the new stunt driver for Alfa Romeo, it seems.
I had my hands over my mouth after that. I didn't realise. Oh my God. I honestly thought that would be an Alfa Romeo about to do some sort of somersault. And it's definitely lost them a bit of time and confidence, because I think Mackenberg now is starting to climb over the back of Rossi. That was a heart in your mouth kind of moment there for Rossi. I certainly would not be too happy in the cockpit right now. Yeah,
but even though Mackenberg is now close to him, he still has to contend with, number one, the smoke screen, number two, Colin Barker behind attacking.
Wait, where is that smoke coming from? Is Rossi just deploying some sort of alternate tactic I'm not aware of in the TCRs? Because all we can see across the lenses is just smoke. Oh! Rossi!
Seems like there was an issue, and Rossi has now lost the position to Sven Mackenberg. He's now in the middle of this former battle, and right behind we see Saulius Laudanovic going for an overtake, and Wilfredo Sevilla is now off circuit. I did not see a collision there between the two cars, but that will be handled by the stewarding team after the race.
I can see you already getting the pen out and looking the stamp ready for a few penalties after that one, but I can certainly see that the fighting is just getting more and more intense in the TCRs as Rossi now is trying to close in on Mackenberg, who made up that opportunistic position, and it certainly is a battle that keeps giving. We've got a three-way going at the moment. Oh, Rossi.
Yeah. Oh, that was a bit ambitious, not close enough to go for a side-by-side. However, trying to unsettle Sven Mackenberg with all he's got, and it seems to be somewhat working. Sven Mackenberg takes a bit of a wider line into these last few corners. Now let's see. Oh, the slipstream is good enough. Just side-by-side into the chicane. But what's the braking looking like?
Oh, it's close. They're trying to afford each other room here. But, I think Mackenberg, they're just lost out on the curbing there, and that's promoted Barker as well by the list of things. And that's a massive loss there for Mackenberg. It's going to be quite devastating there to lose those two places. Really not easy to gain back. I'm sure Senna at the moment is rubbing their hands with the gap they've now formed at the moment.
Oh yeah, Senna is now just 4 seconds ahead of this battle, and now it's Sebastiano Rossi is at least in front again, so maybe able to gain some advantage on these other two cars. However, that is only happening if he does not make any mistakes, as he has done previously. But we have to quickly look at the front, because it looks like Lucas Fischer has caught up to GT3 WTCR. There are only 5/10 between the two right now, where previously they were over a second apart from one another. So Lucas Fischer is catching up, as well as this František Štofko catching up back up to Andreas Ebert, and it's immediately going for an overtake here. Better line out of the Michael Schumacher SS, and inside.
Oh my God.
That is close. How close do you want it? This close. This is touring car racing, even though these are Grand Tourers.
I mean, if I got up my tape measure, it wouldn't be for very far for how close those doors were. My lord, is certainly pushing the limit there. And I think the BMs... that was, a little bit of psychology there, I think, between both the drivers. Oh no, I say that. The BM's gone out of shape, and it's hit the curbs, and that is going to be a run completely thrown away there by Ebert, unfortunately. But my lord, it just goes to show that, just like we said, that the battling was going to be so close between some of these drivers, and a mere inch between them by the looks of things.
Exactly. Sometimes it gets down to the wire, or the thickness of a wire, in literally. As we see Lucas Fischer trying to catch up to GT3 WTCR, trying to really get on his tail and go for an overtake. Of course, he did qualify in P1.
Question is Fischer going to find the slipstream to analyze that run and actually make it, you know? Because it seems as if some of the decisions that the drivers are having about making these moves without the ABS are really starting to bite them, and we've seen it quite a few times. Barker. Oh, Barker. Oh, my lord. Looking for that run on the outside there. Switch to the inside. Rossi's going to tactically just make that Alpha as wide as possible, despite its small frame.
It looks like Sebastiano Rossi is having a bit of trouble, because he is not just driving away from this battle. Colin Barker taking much of the inside curb there, almost going on 2 wheels, probably going on 2 wheels, but it seems like Sven Mackenberg is now side by side.
Yep, he's going to push the inside. Oh, he's actually kept it there. Barker, wow, quite brave to hold the outside there. Barker's just getting hassled by that VW at the moment. Oh, it's going to be asking which side are you going to dart to. Mackenberg, are you going to try and push towards the inside? No, he's going to hold around the back. Man, Rossi's got to get away, isn't he? He's got to put that right foot down, try and extend the gap here, because these two are going to be right on his rear bumper if they're allowed to stop battling.
Exactly. However, will they stop battling? I'm not so sure about that. Any chance they will get, I think they will try to make up the position as quickly as possible. And if Colin Barker got a better run, it seems, through that first corner here of this chicane. Let's see. He's in the slipstream range. Can he catch up to Sebastiano Rossi efficiently enough towards the end of it? I don't think so.
I mean, I saw Rossi sort of really glide the Alpha towards the outside. I thought he's found a really nice apex. Oh, Mackenberg! Oh, dear.
Very late on the brakes there by Mackenberg. Has to take evasive action, and now losing quite a bit of time to this battle between Colin Barker and Sebastiano Rossi. Has to catch it up all the way again, but Colin Barker is really looking at the rear of this Alpha now.
Do you know what? The fact they're battling is probably quite a godsend there for Mackenberg. I mean, that could have been very wrong very quickly. Or Barker's looking towards the inside. Rossi's gone a little bit wide.
It's just a better line there by Colin Barker, it seems.
Well, I think it's a difference there in the lines between the Audi and the Alfa Romeo at the moment. I think just looking at the apex and how they're both taking it, but the exit speeds are looking quite decent. Or you can just... A nice onboard there just to show Barker Really trying to hustle the Audi to climb up to Rossi. Rossi's tyres might be having a bit more of an issue with when he went on a two-wheel stunt. Oh my. Is it me, Julian? Is that rear a little bit loose from the Alpha?
Oh yeah, it does seem quite a bit loose. It is. Sebastian Rossi, in all fairness, does like to play around with his setups, so maybe tries to make it a bit looser under braking for a more turn-in? I don't know, maybe that is the goal here. However, we have seen in the past that it is a risky strat. But look at that exit that he pulled out of the hairpin.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Rossi, the one thing that they are quite synonymous with has been a bit of touring car racing. I've seen a lap or two of theirs previously in the Alpha, no less. So it seemed quite synonymous at the moment with the Alfa Romeo and its capabilities. But, you know, a fellow Brit in Barker, I'm sure they can bring up some might and climb over the back of the Alpha. We'll have to see how they get on for the rest of their stint at the moment. Oh, jeez. I'm just amazed at how they're taking the curves. Oh, this is a bit new to me, honestly. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Oh yeah, touring cars, they are definitely going to take the curbs as much as they can. Abuse them, basically. As we're looking back up to Lucas Fischer right now, who's getting closer to Jiří Kratochvíl. However, Cody Nikola Latkovsky is also getting closer to the two. So it seems like a three-way battle is forming once again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Ferrari, I think Fischer's just sort of been lurking in the wait for quite a lot of the laps at the moment, not wanting to sort of over-push the car and assess if Kratochvíl is going to make any mistakes. And it's quite a patient thing to do. You've got 45 minutes still left of this race. It doesn't feel like it either. I feel like almost 40 minutes has passed with the amount of racing I've watched already. But, you know, I think that's the beauty of RaceRoom sometimes, isn't it, with some of the battles that you see emerge.
Yeah, and especially these drivers that we have here today, they are not giving each other any leeway. They are going to be as close as possible. Look at how Colin Barker is caught up to the rear of Sebastiano Rossi once again. Looking to... getting a bit wide there, maybe wanting to show himself in the rear view mirror of Rossi. But
oh, absolutely. Go on. Oh, God. I'm sort of like gritting my teeth here at the moment, watching Barker try and push the Audi through the curbs and just seeing what happened to Mackenberg previously. It's that constant, oh my... That rear steps out way too much for my liking from Rossi there. I don't know how they keep it.
It reminds me of like 2 years ago, MotoGP, where the KTMs were totally stepping out their rear wheels for braking and turning into corners. It's sort of a very extreme, very risky strategy, but it can pay off. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's really paying off right now, as we go back to Lucas Fischer in the front, as close as he's ever been to Jiří Kratochvíl. Oh, but he has to get closer and go for the overtake best case scenario, because Latkovsky is coming ever closer, is edging ever closer, and we have seen last time around at Suzuka that Kratochvíl is a very good defensive driver.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like I said before. I think one of the best things you can do in these longer sort of races to minimize that risk is you put the... Wow, that was a sideways Porsche for a second. Sorry. You can just see how you want to sort of analyze where your opponent is going to go wrong, but also put on the pressure. Put on the pressure. You can put that person into an uncomfortable position, as Fischer is here now, and you can just see Kratochvíl is just seeing them in the rearview mirror and just paying a bit too much attention to it. I think Lucas is practically pushing Kratochvíl at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean literally, almost it seems right now. If that was not a touch, that was very close to one between the two. Lucas Fischer now backing off even a little. I think there might have been a slight bumper-to-bumper action.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, you might as well get out and start pushing the damn thing. But that's also brought the Porsche into contention as well.
No, yeah, it is a three-way battle now.
Yeah, I think Cotreville's starting to try and play this a little bit more safer. Oh no!
Seems that Lucas Fischer has lost it completely on its own, breaking into the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. Losing the position now to Cody Nikola Latkovsky, who does take evasive action successfully. Well done for him for reacting to that in time, because Lucas Fischer came to a stop on the apex there. So, I'm not sure everyone would have had the reaction time for that.
No, definitely not. And I mean, it's almost like a bit of a curse, really, isn't it? I'm saying about how Fischer is putting on the pressure to Cotreville, and unfortunately, just seemed to just lose it on the brakes. It's an unfortunate. Oh my lord! You can even see the Porsche there just getting a bit squirrely over the curbing, and it's just that reminder that you get into that. What's that word that I'm looking for? You get into that zone, don't you, Julian, where you're pushing up to the car behind, you're doing lap after lap, you're doing the same thing, and then you push a bit more, and then you push a bit more, until the point of that no return, you know?
Yeah, and I think Fischer just felt it get to him. He has to go for a move sooner rather than later, because otherwise Latkovsky would have been on his rear. So he pushed for it, and it was working. Kratochwil was not taking the best lines through some of these corners, going rather defensive already. But Fischer, who again has had an issue just now, and now lost the third position also to Thorsten Leber, has just pushed it a bit too much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still plenty of there's 39 minutes to go, and there's plenty of pace still left, I think, in the cars, and you can just see the battle sort of simmering away a bit for Barker and Mackenberg. They're still very much in contention for second place here, and that's the thing as well. I think when you're pushing so hard on the tire, it is eventually you're going to feel the degradation later into the races. I've had it plenty of times, sort of diving back to ACC, where you're battling away for the position quite a lot, and you're darting left and right, and you get later into that stint and you think, oh no, I've really got nothing left to really push with. It can really bite you.
It absolutely can, but we're only 20 minutes, or well, 22 minutes into the race right now. There's still 38 minutes more left to go. Oh, Colin Barker had to cut the chicane there in front, it seems. Got it slightly wrong on the entry, maybe in the braking zone, which helps Sven Mackenberg now catch up a little bit. I don't think this is slipstream range already. However, he will see the Audi coming ever closer. We'll try to go for something sooner rather than later.
Yeah, 100%.
We see the first lapping action coming.
Yeah, the TCRs are going to start to play a bit more of a factor in the GT3s and vice versa. Oh, Senna there. I mean, Senna's got a 42-second advantage. They really can't be throwing this win away. But anything's possible, isn't it?
Indeed.
Wilfredo Sevilla at the moment, lurking in the background, just doing their thing, getting the laps down, and potentially looking to come a bit more back into this race. Mackenberg, is that all potential position change?
Oh yeah,
I think it is.
And Colin Barker didn't even try to challenge that on the outside line. He knew, okay, Mackenberg has the inside line. Time to be smart about it. Let him pass. Maybe we can catch up together to Rossi.
This is going to cut. Oh, Barker. They're starting to have a bit more of an impact now in the GT3s, and is Barker is going to politely just leave the door open and tip him with a nice mint as well, by the looks of things.
This is the leading battle here between Latkovsky and Kratochwil that is coming through. Oh, Latkovsky losing quite a bit of time, it seems. Oh, making it stick somehow on the exit there. I will remind everyone, it is on the faster car generally to go for a safe move. So I'm glad that this one worked out.
Oh, Rossi. That's one thing you don't want to see in the mirrors when you're pushing a second place in the TCRs. You've got two very angry-looking GT3s trying to pass you at the same time. Oh, they get it done there, though, and I don't think there's too much time lost.
Not too much time lost. It looks like Lucas Fischer, however, is gaining a bit of time. Oh, there's a Peugeot going wide. Maybe trying to give space. However, Lucas Fischer Got a bit unsettled there. Lost quite a lot of time to Thorsten Leber ahead.
Yeah, no. You know what? It's that difficult decision, isn't it? Especially in when you're in a. I was going to say GT4, but well, if you are in a GT4 or a TCR compared to a GT3, you do need to consider opening that door up. And sometimes people are a little bit silly or a bit of a banana and over push a GT3 into you, and it can just result in some damage and loss of places. So I can understand the need for caution. I really can.
Yeah, definitely. These classes have wildly different speeds. I mean, they're about 10 seconds difference here on the Nürburgring Nordschleife if we're looking at the best laps of the cars that have been driven so far. The best lap, the purple lap actually, currently belongs to Lucas Fischer with a 157.027, closely followed by Cody Nikolai Latkovsky with 157.043. So just a few hundreds between the two, and Yuji Kratochvil is just a few hundreds behind that as well. So all of them are really close when it comes to pace. That's why there's seemingly not much movement, not much delta between the different cars changing. But yeah.
I just saw Kratochvil just take a little bit too much of the green there and just dip a wheel out, and it caused him a bit of a traction loss. That's why the gaps come quite a bit down. Latkovsky is just getting better exits at the moment, and I think we're impending a bit of pressure now for the Czech Ferrari driver.
It does look like it. The North Macedonian is really close on his fellow KCG racer right now. Not close enough for a move, but close enough to certainly stress him out.
It's gone wide. Yeah, I think you can visibly see the pressure coming off of that Ferrari now. It's just starting to get a bit much to him. I think they were trying to deploy a bit of pace earlier to hold off the other Ferrari that was in contention, but I think at the moment they're starting to be a little bit more in trouble. If Latkovsky can just keep it clean and keep the pressure on, I think eventually there's going to be a bit of a crack happening. We could see a change of positions here.
One might say Latkovsky is currently quite a bit of David Bowie featuring Queen under pressure.
Oh, I'll give it to you. Okay, I'll give it to you there. Fair enough. But you know what? You're absolutely right. I mean, you could just see him climbing all over the back of him at the moment. Latkovsky on Kratochvil.
Absolutely.
And, I thought I just saw the windscreen wipers go there. That's not the button you want, my friend. But, you know, if you want to wipe away the pressure, try. But
they call it active aero.
Yeah. Oh, Fischer. Oh, very close, very close. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. That got me recoiling in my chair in horror for a second. I thought that was going to be a spinada, as one might say. Kratochvil.
Oh, this might be the chance, but Kratochvil going for the very defensive line. Back to the middle now. They are side by side.
They second guessed each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but it seems the better line out, the better exit was for Kratochvil, which means that Latkovsky has to slip back behind him.
Do you know what it was? I think Kratochvil thought, right, how are you going to make this move? I'm going to put this in the middle. And Latkovsky sort of tried to call the bluff there, and that resulted in him hitting a bit of the curb in there. Look, he's going very wide here. He's trying to find the switchback. Kratochvil just needs to park it, which they've tried to do. I think they've overbraked, though. No, they've not. They've kept it. Oh, Latkovsky, they're both looking to just try and find the switchbacks. Oh, Fischer.
This looks successful now for the inside for the next corner. Yeah, this looks like this is a done move by Lucas Fischer. Back on the top 3 podium so far. Half an hour into the race. Lucas Fischer is finally back. Oh, it's got Latkovsky.
Inside. Oh. Oh.
Taking a look there, not close enough to go for a move, but Kratochvil is showing his defensive skills once again.
They really need to, unless they can drag it all the way around the outside. Unlikely.
Not around that corner.
What a defense from Quattrovill there. Oh, I'm going to say that, and he's going to have a moment, isn't he? Bit of a caster curse. I can feel it coming. Oh, but wow, impressive display. I have to say that defending is almost a bit of a Sergio Perez defense.
Let's take a look at the POV from Nikolai Latkovsky's situation. Oh, that was a bit of a squirrely Ferrari in front.
Do you know what? I think he do that quite a few laps now, and somehow just manages to keep the distance in front. Oh, Latkovsky, you can't do it, sir. You can't do it. Oh!
Oh! Well, this is a chance, though. Kratochvil, bad exit there. But it's again, it has to be the outside.
Just like, yeah, you just got to drag it. That's the thing. If you just get on the power, you might compromise your apex a little bit as the car in front, but you just push that car just nicely to the outside to sort of compromise their run. We can just see it again now with Quattrovill. Oh, you just can't get the switch back there. Just makes him go long again.
Oh, but now it's on the inside. He's got the inside now.
Oh, Latkovsky.
Oh, he has to slip back behind. Whoa.
Wow. Oh, again, in the inside. He's just got to make him go long, though. He's got the switchback, though. Latkovsky looks like he's got a great move. I think this is going to be the place. Oh, they're going to be dragging each other. Oh, it's neck and neck. Latkovsky around the outside, potentially. I think it's done. It is.
Seems to be done. Yes, Latkovsky is now in front.
Wow, that took some cojones, as some might say, to keep that car, keep the Porsche going around the outside there. I thought Latkovsky was getting a little bit frustrated behind the rear there, but we're going to have to see what Quattrovill can do to now put the pressure back on in reverse.
I mean, he definitely doesn't want to let this go, or already put a nose in there on the exit out of the hairpin.
Yes, certainly so. There's no love lost between these two, is there? He's just asking the questions of, all right, I held you up for this many laps. There's still half the race to go, my friend, and I'm going to pester and harass you as much as I can. Oh, no! Momentary slide! Momentary loss of traction there with the rear. I just saw it hit something. I think it might have been a little bit of grass, and that has ended their efforts there for the P1.
Let's see, this is an interesting point. I think there are generally 3 categories of different drivers. There are drivers who do their best laps alone, solo. There are drivers who do the best laps following someone else. And there are drivers who do the best laps while someone else is following them. I think Kratochvil is of the latter persuasion. And if he has to follow someone, well, it's going to be challenging for him, as we saw right there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, and that's one of the beauties of sim racing, isn't it? Where a lot of different personalities and driving styles get to contend against each other across these disciplines. And you see it, some people just have that sort of that aptitude for one particular style if they like to sort of have a bit of a fire underneath them, and it's when you truly get to see the best. And there's some that can't handle that pressure as much. But I think seeing both of the categories here, both of them just seem to be very on top of each other in terms of that pressure and maintaining it. So very close racing and similarity between them. Oh, Lampe.
It seems like Lampe went off. This is in the middle of the Mercedes-Benz ring as the smoke screen is deployed in the background.
Seems like a common theme for today with the TCRs, doesn't it?
It has been a common theme for all of these races. The TCRs are just generally, well, basically smoke machines.
Oh, wow. Damn. You know what? I'm actually still quite surprised about the top 4 for TCR. I say that second, third, and fourth in Rossi, Mackenberg, and Barker. They seem to still be literally just still chasing each other around, still setting down the laps at the moment. I'm starting to see where the degradation is going to kick in versus the manufacturers.
It does look, however, that Colin Barker is losing a bit on the Rossi and Mackenberg right now. We're looking at Mackenberg at the moment, and he is keeping within a second of Rossi ahead, who has surprisingly not been able to just drive away.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, looking at Rossi at the moment, they've kept relatively consistent. I haven't seen much more sort of mistakes from them in the Alpha. I think they've started to sort of ease a bit more into the pace and just keep it consistent. But never say never. I've seen it still get a bit squirrely. And I think as it stands, you can just hear the grunt of the Racing Team Italia car at the moment. It sounds absolutely tremendous, my lord. They seem to like to glide over the curbs quite nicely as well, not eating up too much of it just towards the outside, as you saw Barker in the background there just sort of do a bit of a Tony Hawk's kickflip over that curb, taking a bit too much for the Audi's liking.
RaceRoom does have impressive sounds.
Yeah. Oh, it really does. It's fantastic. Oh, wow. That's a nice difference to ACC. Good sounds, but a difference all the less.
Oh, the smoke screen deployed there for Sven Mackenberg. And it looks like there is a GT3 coming up. I think that is Andreas Ebert. Exactly. Looking to lap these cars. Let's see if, well, Mackenberg or Rossi get a bit of an advantage through that. When does Ebert move on Mackenberg? This would be a good opportunity here. Mackenberg lets him pie. Okay. On a straight. That's very good for Mackenberg. Now let's see where Rossi gets out of the way and lets him pass. Probably here, coming into the hairpin. So both of them didn't lose any time at all to this lapping GT3. Well done by all involved.
Yeah, 100%. It can always go a little bit wrong sometimes, and it's nice to see a little bit of discipline between the drivers as well, and a bit of respect as well, especially between when you've got different classes coming through. Some people just are just a bit too aggressive, I think. You know, there's plenty of room on track. You know, you won't lose an awful lot amount of time if you just take it patiently, you know. But nice to see a little bit of respect between the classes.
Oh. And it looks like Thorsten Leber's in the pits. Where's the front of that Porsche?
Oh dear. I think... So, I don't know about you, Julian. Now, I'm going to use my skills of investigation here. I think something might have been missing. Oh, that's a DNF. Oh no.
That is a DNF for Thorsten Leber. Yeah. He did have 100% damage. So...
Oh.
Surprising that he managed to get into the pits.
Fair play to them for getting it back at the moment. As we see, I think Mackenberg is starting to get the push on a little bit more versus Rossi at the moment. Let's see what Rossi's going to be able to produce. And even behind, the Peugeot slowly coming into frame against Barker at the moment, by the looks of things. Lorena Vicious. Ah, a Lithuanian.
Yeah. Lorena Vicious.
I love it.
One of the... Well... One of the drivers that has been the longest out of everyone here at track. Obviously, we were originally founded as a RaceRoom league, later switched to ACC. Laurinavicius and Barker, for that matter, were both there in the beginning. So both of them, great to see them back racing with us now that we host RaceRoom races once again, as we see Sven Mackenberg now getting closer to the Italian of Rossi.
It's all starting to come to a little bit of a head here, isn't it? Mackenberg sort of slowly seeing them come a bit more into frame against Rossi, and Rossi's going to start to feel that pressure building once again. It's not a comfortable feeling, and I feel as if the laps just get longer and longer. The more the battle goes on, the more you see them in your mirrors, and it starts to play on your mind. You just got to shut it out, you know? As Rossi rounds along the right-hander here, coming up to the straight, and we're just seeing the VW just really get a bit of a push on here. I can see the gap slowly closing towards Rossi. I think Mackenberg is going to start to harass them within, I'd probably predict, about 2.5 laps.
Oh, but look at those lines that the VW has taken.
That was really, really impressive there. A lot of aggression now coming out of Mackenberg. I think there's a bit of confidence gained. You get the bit between your teeth and You feel the momentum sort of sail into your cockpit, really.
Look at how much closer he is now. Made up 2/10 in that chicane and last corner. Beautifully done. Oh!
Wow. Rossi must be feeling the pressure now. I mean, he's literally in the rear view mirror, the rear bumper. He's almost knocked on the door and asked to come in to assemble your IKEA furniture for you with your family. Honestly, it's that close at the moment.
Okay, that is a nice analogy. As we see the action, Sven Markenberg. Oh, now Rossi has to go defensive, already starting with the different line swaps. However, manages to make it back to the racing line. Oh man, let's take a look. Are both of them taking every centimeter of the track that they can?
Yeah, 100%. You just you just know for a fact that Rossi is feeling just that. I don't know how to put it. I can't even just keep saying the word pressure, because that's all he's kind of felt for the last 40 minutes. But it's just starting to become a bit more of an acid test for the Alfa Romeo driver now, where Mackenberg is going to eventually size up that move, especially if they keep taking the curbing the same fashion they were, because Rossi felt like they were right at him. Oh, hang on. Yellow flag for Quadrovo. Oh, no. Oh, there's going to be Fischer coming right up on the back of them by the looks of things. They've got to run. You got to run.
Lucas Fischer is now within just above of a second of Kratochvil. This is the opportunity that Fischer wanted for this entire time. Now he sees someone right ahead of him once again. Oh, 1 second on the gun. Yeah, it's come down. It's come down. But it's going up now once again as Lucas Fischer in the middle of the corner had a bit of a whoops.
Yeah, 100%. I think Fischer, the tyres as well, you know, we're coming to that later part of the race where it is certainly going to matter. And honestly, if I'm Kotrova, which is a situation I don't really want to be in, and I feel the tyres are going more and more, then you're going to have to make those cars go very long again, because Lukowski was having a similar battle on a similar element. You know, it's going to be a difficult one. I think Fischer's definitely going to be pushing for P2 in the last 18 minutes. And not even just that. I think looking across the board at the moment, Lamper's sort of fallen off a little bit, whereas Fischer's sort of slowly coming up to it. Rossi at the moment, you know, the gap is about 0.8. Rossi's got plenty of pace in hand to deploy by the looks of things, but they just don't want to scrub the tyres too much, because that gap was a lot less before, but now they've sort of opened it up again. So I think Rossi playing a little bit of a game here with Mackenberg, just assessing, all right, I'll deploy my pace tactically. I'm going to wait till you come a bit closer, you will over push it, and then I'll open it up again. I'll see what you can do.
Maybe he just realized, okay, I gotta lock in now. I can't get the position taken away from me. There's a championship to be won after all.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, you know, there's always that moment you have to sit up in your chair and certainly lock in as hard as you can. I think Rossi's trying to do that at the moment. If I'm correct, maybe I'm incorrect. I usually am. But the battle for P1, I thought it was about 40 seconds. But looking at the delta, it's now 10. So has something happened?
No, it's not been 40 seconds ever.
Oh, I'm a sausage. I apologise.
Maybe. But you're a British sausage, which makes it better or worse, depending on who you ask. Anyways, Joe Senner having a beautiful lead of about 10 seconds right now in front of Sebastiano Rossi. They can barely see each other here at the front straight, but they can see each other. Whether there will be a promising sight for Rossi or disheartening remains to be seen. It looks like Sven Mackenberg is again catching up a bit to Rossi, and Saulius Laudonavicius has to navigate the smokescreen, but is also catching Colin Barker, getting ever closer. And Lucas Fischer is now also getting closer to Eugene Kratochvil, and we see that Latkowski is coming up to the TCRs then, so we're going to see some lapping action once again.
mean, looking at it, the thing is, I'm like squinting my eyes looking at the gaps now, and ensuring it is correcto. But Mackenberg and Rossi still just sort of the gift that keeps on giving at the moment. Barker's sort of fallen away a bit in the distance, struggling a little bit, especially with the curbing, and I think their place might even be under threat as well. And Rossi just like you said, it's just a little bit of a lock-up currently, and I just feel for the tyres. There must be a little bit of flat spotting, unless they're quite hard compounds. I'm not too sure. It's also interesting for me.
Well, the thing is also that the tyres for TCRs are not made for an 1 hour race. TCRs don't race that long usually.
So we're definitely going to see a bit of degradation, a bit of interest. And Fisher, the gap is under nearly half a second. Ooh, Fisher is certainly on that push, aren't they?
Such aggressive lines, yeah.
Yeah, massively. Or really just sort of trying to trail the rear end there and extract the most out of the apex as possible. Comes up to this section here. Yeah, look, you can just see the push there, but Quadrival seems to have had a bit of a better line, and the delta doesn't lie. It certainly is the all decider despite the slipstream.
There's also a good point to mention. Lucas Fischer is also one of these OG RaceRoom drivers here at tracc.eu, now coming back for the KCG Revival series. He was also one of the very OGs, but almost 5 years ago now. Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. It's the one thing I love about sim racing, isn't it, with these communities, that you remember the characters, the personalities, and it really reflects in the racing too, and some of the that you see on here where people will, in months' time or even a year or so go, remember that race we had at Nürburgring and the battle that we shared, and just talking about it from either person's perspective. It's one of the great joys I have about sim racing. It really is.
One of my greatest memories is still a race from about 4.5 years ago here at Track. One of the first ones we ever organized was a TCR race at Mid-Ohio. It's a beautiful circuit, and yeah, I think that could be on any TCR calendar because it's tight and twisty. It's beautiful to race it. Yeah, it's just a race that caps in my memory for all these years now.
My first ever sim race was at Laguna Seca in the Ferrari GT3 on ACC. There was I remember cheering so loudly on my stream for the fact I was in P9. Definitely a sign of the times there. Oh, bit of a move there. Oh, GT3 is starting to come past. And I remember it so specifically just because of the fact I was like, oh yes, P9 finally, and then suddenly bidding at the exact next corner. And that is the magic of sim racing, isn't it? It does, no matter your skill level and what position you are, every bit of gain or increment is just so meaningful. It really is. I say that as Fisher, is starting to really ask the hard questions of Quadrival now. And it's the crunch time, as I like to say. It really is.
And they're coming up to the battle between Laurinavicius and Barker as well.
Oh, diving right out of the slipstream. Blocked.
Fischer loses it once again.
Fischer, no. Do you know what? I saw the gap. I saw the door, and it was open. It was just a jar for Fischer there, where the TCR held up Quadrival there, and I thought, oh, this is it. This is your line. But they just seemed to lose it under braking. I don't think there was any contact at all. It was just the control just was completely off there. What happened?
I don't think there was any contact either, but there's this huge bump on the inside, and the further you are on the inside on the T1 at Nürburgring, the heavier it feels in the suspension. Maybe the suspension was just not set up to be contracted or that quickly as it was there, usually going for a bit of a wider line, and just unsettled the car in this situation here.
Yeah, it must have been so. And Fish is going to be kicking themselves now. It's about under 12 minutes, and that gap is about 3.5 seconds we're looking at. It's snarl position you want to be in. You know, the push was on. You felt it. You know, it could have been another podium increase, but sadly, that might be all she wrote. Rossi that war. Is Rossi going to let them through nice and easy? No. Oh, starting to make a bit of a buffer there. I think Rossi's playing a bit of a tactic game.
If Rossi let Kratochvil through there, that would mean losing time to Sven Muckenberg. However, he had to let him pass here. Took a bit of a worse entry line into the hairpin. Did not lose too much time to Sven Muckenberg, however, so well done for Rossi for standing his ground into the chicane, not losing the time, because I could have already seen Muckenberg now then being immediately on the tail of the Alfa Romeo and going for a move.
Do you know what? I've actually sussed it out. So what Rossi likes to do is you just saw it there, deploys the smoke screen into the corner so that the apex is completely missing for the opponent behind.
That is definitely one of the strategies of all time, yes.
Jokes aside, I think Rossi at the moment is absolutely finding some better lines here in apexing and just trying to use that lockup just to bring a bit more rotation. With the coal, I say that drifted a little bit wide there. A little bit of the sand with that with that rear left at the moment. There's Lukovsky just having a picnic, about 10 seconds in front.
Exactly, it's looking like the Lutkowski show once again today, and bar any bigger incident, well, there's a 10-second gap. We can let off the gas now. It's only gonna be 5 more laps or something. Yeah, I think 5 more laps. We're going to start soon the 4th to last lap then. I think we're getting pretty close to exactly 30 laps after all then.
It could be quick enough to do a quick drive-through for a McFlurry Espresso as a personal favourite of mine. They still will probably come out in P1. I have my favourites, all right. I can't help it. It goes well.
Whoa, the smoke screen in the background.
Oh my, yeah, I just saw that. I think there's a little bit of a drift coming out there.
Oh, that was
Rossi.
That was not Rossi. Who was that? Oh, that was Joe Senna, our leader in the TCR class. Okay, fair enough.
You can still see the puff of smoke in the background there. Senna at the moment, I mean, he's been relatively unfazed by the looks of things. Blossoming in his lane, flourishing, one might say, but still 8 minutes to go. Got some GT3s to pass through. Anything can happen in racing, and that is the beauty and the tragedy of it at the same time.
Exactly. Anything can happen, and as Joe Senna lets past Jiří Kratochvil here quite nicely, he will still be quite happy having a almost 12-second gap to Sebastiano Rossi, who still has to contend with Sven Muckenberg right behind.
Yeah, no love lost between these two, is there? I think if you're Rossi, you're just doing the consistent, and you're putting the ball in Muckenberg's court really to sort of have to close up and have to force the agenda as it stands at the moment. And Muckenberg's got to just deploy a bit more pace, because Rossi's not really putting a foot wrong at the moment, and the time is ticking, and the centimetres, the inches of tarmac you've got left to do it in is certainly running out.
Yeah, there's not much time left. However, what little time is left, I think Saulius Laurinavicius will want to take advantage of all of it, getting ever closer now to Colin Barker. The closest battle now on track even. So Laurinavicius, after having been absent for the last round, this time looking to come back fighting.
100%. I think that Barker's definitely had a bit of an issue with the tyres now, especially with some of the times they're sending it over the curbs, and we could be looking for perhaps a last-minute change of position for P4 here. Barker has got to keep them behind at any cost now. It's going to cost them the hopeful position to P3 on the podium, but I think in this state of play, you just got to be happy with what you can get. Lamper there, making a move on Rossi. Not going to hamper them too much. It's looking quite close.
Look at the smoke screen. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you
I
don't
wonder
see that a lot in other sims.
I wonder if that. Oh, Colin Barker going a bit too deep there, outbraking himself. This is going to give an. Whoa! This is the best chance that Zlatonovic's had all race. Very close now to the rear of Colin Barker. It is the battle of a German manufacturer versus the French.
I mean, if I'm Barker, I'd start to consider trying to make that car as wide as possible and not worrying too much about that pace. And I think Laurinavicius can certainly smell blood at the moment and is trying to find any inch that they can put over Barker at the moment. You can just see him duck under the rear wing of that Audi at the moment, and it's going to be close. Is it going to be inside? Oh, it is. Oh, it's not. Oh, my Lord. Barker
Not
has
close enough, but trying to go for a move there. Yeah, Laurinavicius and Colin Barker, we know them, of course. They are both aggressive drivers. And, well, both of them have this speciality, I know that from personal experience, when attacking another driver. So it seems like the advantage right now is on Laurinavicius, as the Audi of Stofko is coming through.
Oh, Laurinavicius won't be happy with that. That was really interfering with his line, and that's going to cost him some distance there. Oh! That, my Lord, that was a bit close, wasn't it? I thought he nearly would have... Oh, my.
Yeah, how close do you want it? Not that close.
Yeah, definitely not. That was a bit of a heart in your mouth moment there for Barker. I nearly thought he was going to turn him or come across the front of him. That would have been an absolute disaster for Barker, but they're just still hanging in there, and it's 4 minutes to go. It's so tantalisingly close. Rossi seems to have disappeared a bit from Mackenberg at the moment, so
but it looks
like a hopeful P2.
Unfortunately, it looks like Laurinavicius will have to do it all over again now. Colin Barker up ahead is just... it's just a bit further ahead again. Basically, the entire last lap completely undone by a single lapping maneuver. It can always throw a spanner in the works. However, it can throw a spanner in the works for any of the two cars that are in a battle. So, unfortunately, for Laurinavicius this time around, it hit him. But maybe the next time it will hit Barker, and then everything will be equalized. Who knows?
Yeah.
All that Laurinavicius can do now is try to stay as close as possible to the rear of the Briton. Yeah,
Barker's seemingly opening a little bit of a gap up, but I just feel as if it's not enough at this point in the race, and I almost think Laurinavicius just needs to just find the bit between the teeth, get back into that groove. You've not got a lot of time left. You've just got to find that confidence, that sisu, as the Finnish would say, and just get right up to the rear of Barker and just chase him. Just chase him, put on that pressure. There's not much time left. Anything can happen. Looking at where Joe Senna is right now, it seems like we might be getting 2 more laps out of this for the TCRs. So Saulius Laurinavicius will then also have 2 more laps to try and catch, but also overtake Colin Barker. Yeah, Laurinavicius probably knows that as well. Knows that, you know, your time's running out, and the onus, I feel as if it's on the car behind, isn't it? You know, the time ticking away for the car in front, that's absolutely fine. You're putting them into a vulnerable position that they've got to make that move in that last minutes for. You know, the action's on them, but. You know, Barker, I don't think they're invincible at this point in the race. There's certainly still enough time. Certainly still enough time for a position change. Definitely. It's just a matter of, can Colin Barker keep it between the white lines, keep it consistent for these last 2 laps. We're now on the penultimate lap for this battle. Let's actually take a look. The leader is currently... Where are we? Oh, here, coming towards the back straight. So soon starting the last lap of the race. Oh. Not done bad. Oh, Laurinavicius there. I did see it with the entry of that turn before we switched over, is that Lorenovicius starting to find a bit more pace. And it looks as if the questions are certainly being put to Barker at the moment, and they remain unanswered because the gap is now under half a second and staying relatively within that same time frame.
I think a big part of it is the motivation of just having caught Colin Barker now and being able to go for P4 now, being within reach of it. It's just such a motivational boost, it can be at least. And I think this is really helping Lorenovicius at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. It's certainly they're both pushing 40 seconds left on the clock.
But also,
Lord,
if you look at the best laps of those drivers, Lorenovicius now has the second best TCR lap.
wow.
Only behind Joe Senna. So, Saulius, wow. Really going for it.
You know, different position there in the quali, and maybe it could have been a different race entirely. Paul Lorenovicius displaying this kind of pace at the moment. Rossi's just sort of clinging on as it is. You can just see the lead car for the GT3s at the moment starting to come around. And this should be final lap then.
This is the final lap. Cody Nikola Latkovsky has been making this his own show once again, as we saw the last time around at Suzuka, after an intense battle between the top three, as they are right here again today. But Latkovsky, immaculate after having taken the lead. Slightly helped by his nearest followers having lapses in the concentration, presumably. But Latkovsky has been immaculate, coming around now towards the last corner. And it is another win for Cody Nikola Latkovsky. The Porsche driver from North Macedonia wins again. Third win.
Tip my hat off to you.
This championship. Joe Senna is in the S's right now, but there is also a battle still going on. It seems like Lorenovicius is going for it.
Oh, a bit of a push. Oh, Lorenovicius. Oh, Barker's got a little bit more of a run though. It's going to be close. He's got to psych him out. It's got to be a full send into the curbs. Lorenovicius. Oh, it's not enough.
He's lost a bit of time now through the Schumacher S. Can he catch it up in this next left, right? Because if he's close enough after that, we have the long back straight. So into the chicane, maybe?
Barker got on the brakes much earlier than Lorenovicius there. I think Lorenovicius has got the run on him. The slipstream's definitely going to help coming into this section here. The Audi seems to still be holding a bit of a gap. It's got to be a send. I don't think there's enough.
Not close enough. By far not close enough here, but maybe a better exit out of the chicane will help him. Oh, takes a lot of curb there. However, it doesn't seem to be good enough to get on the inside of Colin Barker. Yeah, Colin Barker has got the line. And...
wow.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like there is anything. Oh my god. It's a drag race to the finish line. However, it looks like Colin Barker has won this drag race between the two.
Wow. That was very close. Very close stuff by Barker there. I was expecting a little bit of a heartbreak at the line, but brilliant stuff there.
Absolutely well done. Andreas Ebert is now finishing, and we're only waiting for one last finisher. Okay. So it seems that in the end, the best lap has been reclaimed by Cody Nikola Latkovsky, who is also our today's race winner, followed by Jiří Kratochwil in P2, Lucas Fischer in P3, Rüdiger Lampe in P4, František Stofko in P5, and Andreas Ebert in P6 for the GT3s, with Thorsten Leber unfortunately DNFing. Do you want to go through the TCRs?
I would more than love to. So first place is Joe Senna with a brilliant brilliant bit of pace today. Wasn't really phased, kept it clean. And then Sebastiano Rossi takes P2 on the second podium step in the Alfa Romeo. Oh, that has run away now.
Maybe we've taken a bit too long. Doesn't matter. Sven Mackenberg was in P3. Now Colin Barker was in P4. Saulius Laudonavicius managed to get into P5 then afterwards, and P6 was Wilfredo Sevilla. So, well done by everyone involved. That was a beautiful race. Action almost the entire way of the way. I mean, at some points we didn't even know where to look.
It was honestly, it was sensational. I mean, I don't know. I've never really seen much of RaceRoom, but it definitely made a strong case for it, and I can see the roots of tracc.eu from it already. What a fantastic race. Great amount of action. Certainly plenty of drama, and I loved every minute of it. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. So, in that case, the only thing that remains for us to do is to thank everyone for watching. Thanks to our participants for racing. You can also join the race if you want via this QR code that is currently on the screen, or by going to tracc.eu/Discord, which is in the YouTube chat right now. And you can join our Discord server where we organize our races. For example, this KCG League running currently every Friday, same time. Now, there is going to be another race next week. Let me quickly look where that will be.
Please do. It's been fantastic to watch so far.
Okay, the next round will be the Saxon T-Prix, where we're going to be go to Sachsenring in Germany. We're going to stay in Germany for another round, so be sure to tune in for that next week as we go to Sachsenring. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you on the racetrack.
Bye-bye.